Have you ever stopped to wonder why the world looks the way it does today? Why nations exist where they do? Why cultures evolved differently? Or why certain inventions changed everything? The answers aren't random. They're woven into thousands of years of stories, struggles, ideas, and breakthroughs. That story is world history. Welcome to How Expert Tip of the Day, where we bring you real-world tips from our how-to guides on all topics from A to Z. If you want to learn even more in-depth strategies, examples, and techniques on this topic, check out How Expert Guide to World History, available at Amazon, Audible, Barnes& Noble, Google, Kobo, Apple, Spotify, and all major bookstores as an ebook, paperback, hardback, and audiobook. World history is the study of how humans evolved, built societies, interacted with one another, cooperated, clashed, invented, explored, and shaped civilizations across every continent. It's not just a timeline of dates, it's the story of us. Today, we're breaking down the essential concepts of world history so you can understand the big picture of humanity's journey and why it still matters today. Let's dive in. 1. The rise of early civilizations. Human history begins long before written records. Early humans migrated, hunted, gathered, and eventually settled. The shift from nomadic life to agriculture around 10,000 BCE transformed everything. People could stay in one place, grow food, and build communities. This led to the first civilizations: Mesopotamia, Egypt, the Indus Valley, and China. These cultures developed writing, laws, architecture, calendars, and government systems. They established the foundations for everything that came after: trade, religion, social structure, and even the concept of cities. When you see a skyscraper, a legal contract, or a paved road, those ideas trace back to the world's first societies, learning how to organize human life at scale. 2. Empires and expansion. As societies grew, so did the desire for power, resources, and influence. This gave rise to empires: Persia, Greece, Rome, China's dynasties, the Islamic caliphates, the Aztecs, the Inca, and countless others across Africa, Asia, Europe, and the Americas. Empires spread ideas, technologies, languages, and religions, but they also created conflict, conquest, and cultural blending. Roman law, Greek philosophy, Chinese bureaucracy, Indian mathematics, and Islamic science became global forces because empires carried them across continents. One of the best examples is the Silk Road, a massive trade network connecting East and West. It wasn't just silk being traded, it was ideas, innovations, spices, beliefs, and entire worldviews. 3. The Middle Ages and global traditions. The Middle Ages weren't just knights and castles. Around the world, civilizations flourished in unique ways. In Europe, feudalism shaped society. In Africa, powerful kingdoms like Mali, Songhai, and Great Zimbabwe thrived. In the Middle East, major scientific and cultural advancements blossomed during the Islamic Golden Age. In Asia, Japan refined the samurai tradition, while China developed paper money, printing, and gunpowder. Indigenous cultures across the Americas created advanced cities, calendars, and sophisticated agricultural systems. Each region evolved differently based on geography, resources, and culture, and these differences still influence the modern world. 4. Exploration, contact, and transformation. The age of exploration connected the world like never before. European explorers set sail across oceans, motivated by trade, wealth, religion, and curiosity. This era led to the Columbian Exchange, a massive transfer of plants, animals, foods, diseases, and technologies between continents. Potatoes traveled to Europe, horses returned to the Americas, and completely new global trade routes emerged. But exploration also came with consequences: colonization, cultural disruption, and conflict. Entire civilizations faced dramatic change. Understanding this period helps explain modern borders, languages, and global relationships. 5. Revolutions that changed everything. Certain turning points reshaped humanity's direction forever. The scientific revolution transformed how people understood the natural world. The Enlightenment challenged old systems of power and sparked new ideas about rights and government. The Industrial Revolution accelerated technology, manufacturing, and urban life. And the digital revolution, the one we're living through now, continues to redefine how we communicate, work, and learn. Revolutions are pivotal moments when society shifts course. They remind us that human progress often happens through bold ideas that challenge the status quo. 6. Modern conflicts and global cooperation. The 20th century was filled with dramatic events. World wars, civil movements, decolonization, technological leaps, and shifting world powers. Wars caused immense destruction, but they also led to global attempts at cooperation, such as the formation of the United Nations. New challenges emerged: human rights issues, political tensions, environmental concerns, and the rise of global economies. Understanding these modern dynamics helps us make sense of today's headlines, from international conflicts to economic trends. 7. The power of patterns and lessons from the past. Perhaps the most important part of world history isn't specific dates or battles. It's the patterns. Civilizations rise and fall. Societies innovate, adapt, and transform. Economies strengthen and collapse. Cultures influence one another in cycles. History shows us innovation thrives when people collaborate. Division weakens societies. Ideas spread faster than borders can contain them. Human resilience is a constant thread through time. When you understand these patterns, history becomes a guidebook for the present and future, not just a record of events. Let's tie this together with a short story. In 1974, archaeologists in China discovered the Terracotta Army, thousands of life-sized clay soldiers buried near the tomb of Emperor Qin Shi Huang. This discovery gave historians deeper insight into ancient craftsmanship, military structure, political power, and burial traditions. But it also reminded the world that history isn't just something in textbooks. It's alive, buried beneath our feet, waiting to be uncovered. Every artifact, every structure, every written record is a clue that helps us understand who we are and where we came from. World history is the story of human creativity, conflict, exploration, resilience, and transformation. From early civilizations to global empires, from revolutions to modern challenges, history reveals how cultures evolve and how interconnected the human story truly is. Understanding world history helps us recognize patterns, appreciate diversity, and make wiser decisions about the future. The more you understand the past, the clearer the future becomes. For even more tips, techniques, and practical examples on this topic, check out HowExpert Guide to World History, available at Amazon, Audible, Barnes & Noble, Google, Kobo, Apple, Spotify, and all major bookstores as an ebook, paperback, hardback, and audiobook. HowExpert publishes how-to guides on all topics from A to Z. Visit howexpert.com to learn more.